Hi guys, welcome back to FOOTY with Wally. So let's talk about Premier League Week 7 because we had some interesting games. Chelsea beating Liverpool, Manchester United winning and not conceding a single goal. City not being able to dominate Brentford, at least in the second half. Arsenal destroying West Ham and etc. But anyway, if you don't know me, in the channel I cover Tottenham, and which I already analyzed in my last video. And also when I have time, I try to analyze the rest of the big six in a sort of roundup video. But anyway, let's go to the video. So starting with Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1. Honestly, any team could have won this game. Really, and you can see by the start, momentum, etc. Like the game was pretty equal in the sense that both teams produced chances and they could have scored, especially Liverpool could have scored more goals. But talking about the idea, the plan, like the strategy, what the teams wanted to do, I do believe that Chelsea, even though Chelsea produced less in the sense of XG, I believe Chelsea showed me more of what they wanted in the sense of plan, whereas Liverpool showed me less, but at the same time they produced more because they counterattacked a lot and they didn't score more goals because honestly, like individually speaking, they were not good, especially Salah and Isaac. Like they missed big opportunities that could have changed the result of the game. And regarding Chelsea, even though they produced less XG, like it was very clear what they wanted to do. Like they basically abused the flanks throughout the whole game, not only with the wingers but also with the fullbacks, like trying to do the 2v1 situation and stuff. And it sort of worked because for the second half, Liverpool literally substituted the right back, like Bradley, and then they put like Szoboszlai there to try to change the game. So those are my notes for Chelsea. When Chelsea have 11 men on the pitch, they look way better, and that is true. And I have been saying this in my last 4 or 5 videos, at least the videos where I talked about Chelsea, and I basically say Chelsea are good, but individually speaking, at the defense, I don't like the centre backs and even the goalkeeper. And in a lot of games, they just like give away goals or get red cards and all of those things. But that did not happen, and Chelsea plays well, in my opinion. Even though, as I said, they did concede chances to Liverpool, but honestly, it's against Liverpool. Like you will concede chances because Liverpool are very good. And individually speaking, I really liked Caicedo again. Like he needs to be in the conversation about the best DM in the world, really, because like Rodri is very good, but he's not 100% fit right now. Declan Rice is just insane. There is also De Jong, like from Barcelona. Let's see who else. Gravenberch needs to be in the conversation as well. But in general, Caicedo needs to be in the conversation within the top 3 of like everyone's top 3 should include Caicedo. And in this game, he had 1 goal, which was a banger, 2 out of 2 shots on target, first in the game, 11 defensive contributions, first in the game as well. I'm talking about this strategy that I already commented on. The team exploited Liverpool's flanks the whole game. Correa was amazing. Chelsea's left side was very good, actually. Offensively speaking, I liked the left side more than the right side. And defensively speaking, Correa was able to deal with Salah, which is one of the best players in the world, so that is very hard. I also liked Enzo as well. Like João Pedro did not have an amazing game, but as I wrote there in my last note, they struggled to stop Liverpool's transitions and ended up conceding 4 big chances. And that is true. Like if Liverpool players were in their day, Liverpool could have won this game, honestly, because Chelsea conceded a lot of counterattacks, but Liverpool's attackers, individually speaking, weren't, like technically speaking, they weren't playing their best. Salah and Isaac missed opportunities, like big chances. You can have the strategy and stuff, the tactics. At the end of the day, the players impact the result of the game. And Chelsea's players, like Caicedo, scored a banger, and for Liverpool players missed their opportunities. So it is what it is. So my notes about Liverpool: fragile on the flanks. Kirkis and especially Bradley had a very bad game. And I put there Bradley stats: draws 1, 0 out of 5, fouls 3, possession lost 5. And also, as I said, Liverpool created 4 big chances, but Salah, Isaac, and Szoboszlai missed their chances. Like, it wasn't their day. It kind of happened. However, individually speaking, they should have done better because they are good players. Excellent players, actually. And it is very clear that Isaac and Wirtz need to adapt as soon as possible, especially Wirtz, honestly, because Isaac, we know that, like, we know how he can play in the Premier League because we've seen him playing week in and week out for Newcastle. However, Wirtz, even though he is very good, like the technique is there, the football IQ is there, but we haven't seen him playing well, like producing, like basically showing us good performances in the Premier League so far. Actually, not even the Premier League, but for Liverpool in general. So I think it would be very good for him to to get 1 assist, a goal or 2 goals in a game or something like that. So he can get more confidence, maybe a good momentum if like he scored 1 goal in 2 games in a row or something like that. And in this game, for example, he started on the bench. And that was unimaginable if we think about how we were imagining Wirtz would play when he was just signed. But anyway, with time, I believe he will adapt. That said, also want to talk about Liverpool's defensive instability, because last season Liverpool were very, like, I was pretty sure they would not concede in any given match. However, this season, even though like even in games where Liverpool dominate and don't concede a lot of XG, they ended up conceding 1-2 goals all of a sudden, and they have not kept a clean sheet in 6 matches. Last time was against Burnley away, which, let's be honest guys, it was not a very difficult opponent. So let's talk about this 2-0 Arsenal against West Ham. And honestly, I hate saying that because I'm not an Arsenal supporter, even though my wall is red. I do not support Arsenal. However, Arsenal should have won this game 4-0. Like, honestly, the first half should have ended 3-0 easily, like easily. Arsenal just created a lot of opportunities. In the second half, Arsenal sort of saved some energy, let's say, so they were not pressing that much. Like, they weren't desperate to create chances to attack because they were already winning, and West Ham look, honestly, as a team who maybe will be relegated, because when I see West Ham playing and Leeds playing, I don't think they are that different. But going back to Arsenal, I put on the thumbnail, actually I should, okay, wait a second, just explain the thumbnail, because I wrote there I was wrong about Arsenal and Liverpool. Regarding Liverpool, I was wrong because I thought Liverpool were playing their own league. I thought they were going to dominate the league, like not necessarily destroying everyone, but being the team who will always like win 2-0, 1-0, hardly conceding chances. And I even said in my predictions video that I'll put the print screen here that the only club that could stop Liverpool if everyone were playing their best was Manchester City. But seeing Arsenal playing, I realized I was wrong, unfortunately. So going back to the analysis, Arsenal destroyed West Ham. I liked the starting 11 with only Declan Rice as a DM and Odegaard and Eze in the midfield, with another 3 attackers. That was very offensive. And I think if Arteta can keep that in it, not even energy, but like that confidence, because sometimes, especially in the big games, Arteta tries to be more pragmatic, but I believe with a more courageous approach, I think he will cause problems to all of us who don't support Arsenal if in the big games he put his teams to play offensively, like he did in this game. Even though I know Arsenal against West Ham, like they were favorites, clear favorites to win. I'm saying against the likes of City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea, etc. So let's go through my notes about Arsenal. The first half could have ended 3-0, as I said. In the second half, Arsenal kept dominating possession. They still had the ball. However, they were more like, they were just saving energy, essentially. Rice had a superb performance, like 81 touches, third in the game. Accurate passes, 55 out of 60, 92% accuracy, third in the game. 1 goal, 2 shots, third in the game. 3 chances created, first in the game. And let's remember that he is a DM. 2 out of 2 successful dribbles, first in the game. And 5 passes into final third, second in the game. Rice is just excellent, honestly. I also really liked Timber and Calafiori, like the fullbacks, because they attacked very well and in different ways. It's not only about overlapping, but like, for example, we saw Timber entering the opposition box through the central area. So Saka would have the 1v1 on the wing or on the flanks, let's say. Someone that I did not like was Odegaard, because like he was kind of mid this game. Let's say who, Eze was very good as well as a 10, and I believe that role suits him better. I believe Arsenal's strongest starting 11 will have Eze as a 10, and then on the left maybe Martinelli or Trossard, but like it doesn't matter. Eze needs to be a 10, because in the center right outside the box he can impact the result more often. And my last note was, I think I was wrong about Arsenal. 13 goals scored and 3 conceded in 7 matches, and they played against Liverpool, City, Newcastle, United. Guys, I was just so wrong. But it's okay, it is what it is. And before going to Manchester United, I want to say that Arsenal are performing well and Gyökeres is not playing his 100% yet. When Gyökeres adapts to the team, or the team that adapts slightly to him, I believe we'll have a problem. I mean, if you are an Arsenal supporter, that would be amazing for you. So let's go to the 2-0 that we saw in Manchester. United's victory 2-0 against Sunderland. Offensively speaking, United played well. I liked especially the right side with Diallo and with Mbeumo. The combo really worked. And at least in the first half, I saw United very Like, I was pretty sure until the second goal, I was pretty sure United would not concede if they kept playing like that, which they did not. As you can see by the momentum map, after the second United's goal, they started conceding some chances. And honestly, Sunderland could have scored this game. But in general, regarding the 90 minutes, I believe United deserved to win. So my notes were, as I said, Diallo and Boomer played very well on the right side. And Lamon, I believe that's the pronunciation, made some saves straight when he needed. Because as I said, United could have conceded this game. And you can see by those stats I took, first half separated from the second half. United produced way more in the first half. But then they just sort of saved energy. Something similar to what I said about Arsenal, with the difference that when Arsenal don't want to concede, they don't give away a lot of chances, but they only conceded one chance in the second half. And also, as I said about Gyökeres not being already adapted, like 100% adapted to Arsenal, I feel the same with Česko for United. I believe when Česko adapts to the Premier League intensity, like when he starts finding good moments to run behind the defense, like when to dribble, when to just shoot in a first touch, he will start scoring more goals because the quality is there. Like, he has a good striker. And about United in general, the problem is not creating, like the problem was never creating, at least not this season, but converting chances into goals and not conceding too much or too many chances if you want. This game was the first clean sheet that United got in the Premier League. That says a lot about the team. And I put on the screen the numbers. Expected goals first, 14.1 expected goals in 7 matches. That is basically 2 goals per match. But then you see how many they scored per match, and they scored 1.3 per match. At the same time, they conceded 1.6 per match. So basically what United need right now is some stability, in the sense that they need to stop giving too many opportunities to the opponents, because as I said in one of my last videos where I talked about United, it's like a virtual cycle where United play well offensively, they create chances, but they don't convert those chances, and then they concede the goal, and then they get desperate, and then it keeps just repeating. So Brentford against City. City dominated the first half of this game, like you can see by the momentum map. However, they did not create so many good opportunities, let's say big chances. In the second half, I felt they were feeling very uncomfortable. Actually, let me just check my notes. Those were my notes about the game. Like, City dominated possession and momentum in the first half when Brentford played a very passive low block. And I did not understand that, because if you give away the ball, if you give the ball to Manchester City, they know how to play with the ball. They know what to do. Even though that sounds weird to say, but I believe it is safer to play offensively, or at least play more aggressively in the sense of tackling, pressing and stuff against City than to just park the bus, because eventually they will find a goal. And as I wrote there, in the second half, Brentford started to press high and nullified City. Like, in the second half, City could not produce anything, and Brentford almost capitalized from that moment where they even started producing chances, like started to get some shots and stuff. So as I wrote there in my last note, 1-1 would have been a fair result, but at the end of the day, Igor Thiago, the Brazilian striker, missed his big chance. Like, it was basically a 1v1 against Donnarumma, and Haaland didn't, because Haaland doesn't. Haaland did not miss his opportunity because Haaland does not miss opportunities. Obviously, that's a hyperbole. Haaland does miss opportunities here and there, but when it comes to winning games, if he has one chance, I really believe he will score. For example, in this game, Haaland had one shot, one goal, and that's it. 1-0 City. But that was it, guys. I think I talked a lot already. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with a friend. In case I have said anything useful, it will help me immensely. And see you in the next time.